Today we are interviewing Dr. Peter Jackson, a lecturer at UTS and Notre Dame. Over time, the term ecology of communication must have changed. How have you developed syllabus to adjust to this over time? Do you constantly change it?
Yes, I do change it. I basically change, because the ecology is changing all the time, because we're basically more and more internet-based and digital technologies coming in. I try to refocus some of the issues onto a more digital basis, and so I basically every semester go through the outline and work out which subjects need more, or which topics, need more updating, basically.
The term communication has also changed, not just the ecology, but the term in general. Social media is currently known as the new form of communication. Over your 15 years of teaching, has this affected your method of teaching at all?
Has it changed? I've incorporated a lot more digital-based materials and gone to a blended learning approach. So blended learning basically means that we set up materials in an online space for students to investigate and explore themselves and therefore work at their own pace. And as a teacher, I've gone from being principally about lecturing and delivering content to now being about facilitating students to find their own content.
What was the old method of
teaching?
Yeah.
Stand in front of 300 people and talk for an hour. Usually with a PowerPoint in the background, but that's basically it. And as the years have gone by, I've started to incorporate more video material, just to break up the kind of monotony of the lecture a bit. And as I said, in the last few years, we've selected more of this kind of what we call blended, or sometimes even a flipped classroom technique, where we basically use the classroom to investigate the issues and discuss things, do exercises, that kind of sort of hands-on stuff. And homework is now about students, instead of going to a lecture, they might watch a video or read an article or something like that to give them the information in the next class, so they can sit there and work through that information.
Compared to the other social media sites, Facebook, Twitter, etc., what made you choose Edmodo as the base? Because other teachers I know use Facebook groups.
Yeah, I've used Facebook groups in the past, basically because I want to keep my Facebook profile separate from my students. Edmodo has also been set up specifically for education, so there are ways you can set up things like assignments and that, and I can make small groups very easily, and it also means I don't have to, apart from my privacy and my Facebook profile, I don't have to get students' Facebook profiles either. We can keep our professional and social lives separate.
Do you think Edmodo is better than emailing? Some teachers like the old-fashioned way of emailing.
I still email. If I want to make sure that everyone gets it, I'll send out an email. But no, it's a different platform. I'd like to use it instead of UTS Online, to be honest, because UTS Online, being a Blackboard learning management system, is just clunky. So it's kind of setting it up as an alternative to that.
You mentioned that you teach at Notre Dame as well. Do you use the same teaching approach that you use at UTS? Like Edmodo and...
No, but the only reason because it's a totally different subject. At Notre Dame I teach educational technology to teachers, and so we do a lot of stuff with interactive whiteboards, and so it's basically a lot more traditional form teaching, because it's actually working with teachers and demonstrating classroom techniques for them to go and use when they're teaching primary or secondary school.
Have you had to change that method over time as technology has
we incorporate different things all the time. Because there's so much educational technology out there, we basically have to refocus each year on which ones we're going to be teaching. We keep interactive whiteboards as the basic kind of thing we teach. We also do, we used to teach them how to do web quests, which we've now replaced with iMovie and Google Earth and things like that. So we teach some specific tools, we teach some systems, and we have to look at that every year as new systems and new tools come